Part 4, How I Met My Mom. So, I so we it's cold. It's cold. It's a cold meeting. It's a cold meeting like it was no love, was no hug like, "Oh, I miss you, daughter. Where you been at? I tried to find you." None of that. None of that. Anyway, so I guess they were shooting it up, talking it up, or whatever the case may be. My abuser and my bio mother, and she invited my mother and us back to her house. Boom. Mental note. I gotta remember where my mother live at, cause I don't care about nothing else but getting back to her house. It's cold now, but it's gonna get warmer later. Remember I said that. So I we walking. Mary and my abuser squeezing my hand, stopping the circulation. I'm so used to it. I'm numb to this. Like I'm numb to beatings, abuse. I'm numb to it. And so we walking. Let me get my charger. Sorry. We walking. So it's like one block down. We on the same block now. It's the park. We passing the park. We passing the school. We going down some houses, and then we making a right. We got to cross the street to make a right, and we go up a hill. We see some buildings. It's a store, some buildings, and 595, I think it is. I think that's the number of the building. 595. I'll never forget it because it's connected to 110 schoolyard, the big schoolyard. And then my mom building, you can see it because the schoolyard is open, the fence. And you can see the building right there. It's a little tenement building, real tenement, little small families in there. And we get up the block to the building, and I'm like sweating. My hands are sweating. I always had a sweat condition. Like, and I knew that was, I don't know, my nerves was always bad. Because, granted, somebody beating you with a pipe, putting your hands on fire and all of that. Like, I think that's why I'm like a lot of things that I just is normal to me. Like even if I accidentally burn myself, it's like and I'm not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like you're supposed to be like, oh shit, I burnt myself. Like it's like I'm numb to those things, right? Anyway, so we go up the block and we go up the block, see my mother building. I remember. So off the rip, I remember this area because the Katona Park is right there. All summer long, me and my friends out the neighborhood. Now we're way on the other side. We at Claremont Park. My bio mom and them lived at Katona Park. They had the pool. We had a pool too. So we was still on 170. Ain't that crazy? They lived on 170 on Franklin Avenue. We lived on 170 on College Avenue, which was it's just walking distance, like all the way on the opposite side. But all summer long, me and my friends, we would troop and we would go to Katona Park to go to the pool. We did. Like we was in that park. I told you we was in all neighborhoods, fighting, having fun, being friends, like getting dirty. We was kids. So we would go to free lunch at that same school, 110. And how we used to go to free lunch, we used to go to all the free lunches. We would just go to different schools and go to different free lunches, get the milks, get the food, take it home. Because back then we was poor. We were poor. So we would take it so we can have milk for our cereal. We take the cereal home. We take the fruits home. That's how a lot of parents made it through back then, right? Because it was a poor economics. It was crazy. So anyway, Marion wasn't working at this time. She was getting her Social Security because now she's getting older. She's getting older, so she's no longer working for the white lady, the white rich lady. I'm gonna tell you about that too. So we go up to the house, and I'm like, yo, I know where my mother live at now. That's all I kept thinking. Like, I know where my mother live at. I don't care about nothing else. Soon I get the opportunity, I'm running away. I'm coming over here. It's going to be my first time running away. I'm coming over here. I don't care if she was cold or cold to me or whatever. I'm coming. I'm leaving. So we get up to the house, me and my brother, we get up there. We look at each other because we like, yo, we been over here before. My brother get to see that he got another brother besides, our eldest brother that was a dick when we was younger. He was a dick when we was younger. We grew to have a better relationship later on, but he was a dick. I could tell you some other stuff too. Anyway, it's just me and him. Now, mind you, me and my brother, we like, oh, we been over here before, whatever. We know about over here. We come to the school, we get the free lunch. We know we trooping and having fun and fighting people along the way and all of that. So I'm like, now I know where my mother live at. I'm like, please, God, let me get up in this house. I want to see my mother. When we get up in the house, my mother lived in, it was crazy. Marion, that's all she could think about is how nasty of the house she lived in. House was nasty. It was. It was nasty. Nasty. It was nasty. It was clothes everywhere. It was just not what I grew up to be in. And none of Marion houses. Marion was a nasty bitch. She was nasty. She would piss on herself because she was an alcoholic. She had plastic on her furniture. Her house didn't smell. She always cleaned. She had the top nice stuff, nice furniture, wood, substance, everything. Marion house was top of the line. Like always kept nice stuff. She knew value of furniture and stuff like that. She had a eye for fashion, as they call it right now. Marion did have that. I'm gonna give her that. But she peed on herself. She was nasty with that part. She would piss on herself, right? We get in an apartment, and I'm like, I'm a little girl now. I'm like, Mary gonna have a field day with this. She gonna have a field day. Now, Marion might have already knew she lived there, granted, because Marion got my eldest brother from her. And I don't know, I think when Raynard went in our house to beat this man up and got my mother out of that situation, he went over there first, and then she took my eldest brother with her out the house, and he took both of them to Marion's down a block at Ernest's house with Sadie, his mother. Right. So we get in the house. The house is a pigsty. I'm like, Marion gonna have a field day with it. And lo and behold, soon we got the opportunity, we left because our Marion's husband at the time was not Ernest Harrison. He's dead and gone now. Now she got Ernest Owens. I'm gonna tell you this. All her husbands' names were Ernest. I'm not the ones that I know. They all was Ernest. She had 3 husbands and they all name was Ernest. Right? We Ernest comes pick us up in a station wagon. This is the station wagon where didn't have no seatbelts. Seatbelt was this growing up. Get the person's hand. We had the little seat that you pull out. We had ashtrays in the back. It was like crazy. Those were the cars. But Ernest came to pick us up from over there because it was getting late. Back then we had house phones. So she called. He came to pick us up. We didn't go back on the bus or the train. The house is nasty. And soon we got out of earshot of Marion. She says, I told you your mother wasn't shit. Your daddy ain't shit neither. They ain't shit. You see how filthy and nasty she lived? She couldn't wait to degrade us. Say, this is how your mama lived, and this is why I got y'all from your mother. But she didn't know. Well, she could have, because I don't know. I'm 3 days old, so I don't know. But anyway, she degraded us all the way home. I told you all your life your mother wasn't shit. You see for yourself. I didn't have to lie to you. But that wasn't still saying my mother wasn't shit, because she didn't know how to have a clean house. You know what I'm saying? They might have had a clean house. We just might have came on the wrong day that day. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it didn't look clean. It didn't look nothing like what I was. Marion or her sister Betty, they had clean houses, or Aunt Hun. Like all three of them had nice, beautiful